Good morning. What I am going to do today is I'm making the sun the way I'm doing it, okay? So I have this right here is like this is a 2-inch ring. So I'm making a smaller one so that way we can do the tutorial. Doesn't take as long, but you get the idea. This is 33. Now I'm using this to make the sun rays. So I'm going to start off with getting it wrapped here, okay? Take me just a second. And now with this, I'll list all the materials that I use in here. This is my clippers. Okay, so I always make sure that the end is smooth. You don't want to squeeze too hard, just enough to stop that. Okay, here is the sun that I've been making. I'm going to take that, I'm going to loop it, and I'm going to squeeze that together, okay? I'm going to twist. I see all different kinds on here, but this is what I've done with mine. And in between each one, I'm adding here my little yellow bead. Take me just a second because sometimes these right here actually go. Some of them, whenever you go put it on, it's like the holes aren't all the way through or what have you, but I have to change a wheel. Okay, so I'm putting these on in between. This is all by your choice, whatever you want to do. So I put that on. Okay, I do a turn, push that together to where it's close. Now this is the long one. I'm going to take this short and I'm going to twist. You can leave those loops on there, or you can take these and close it up like this if you choose to do. And you can close it all the way. I'm just giving you an idea of whatever you choose to do. Again, we'll take, I put this in between each one just to have a little color there. Push that together. I'm going to go ahead and pull this back, and I'm going to hold this and I'm going to twist, making the sun rays. I'm going to go all the way around doing this. I make a long one and then a short one. Does take a little bit of time here in between these. If your beads if they're small, that does take a little time to get those to go on. Not always, just depends. Like I said, some of them, I don't think the holes are all the way through, but here is this. After I twist it, I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to put my bead on. I started off with 32 inches as far as the length of this wire. So we will see how much more we may need. Again, twist. Pull through. Just continue to do this all the way around until you have your sun. What you choose to do on the inside, totally up to you. That's your imagination. That I think it's fun to see all the creativities. If you like these videos, all I ask is that you like, share, comment. That way I can make more. If you have any suggestions on something maybe we could learn together, leave that in the comments. We can try. Some of them's a little bit harder than others, but it's just the fun of doing it. So we'll twist. So I know this will be short, but that's a good thing. That way we can show you what we do whenever, if you run out, because you know you're going to run out, and then you're going to have to combine it and just add a little bit more on. And these don't have to be all even. That's the thing with the sun rays. I love it. Makes it unique. It's going to be way off because, like I said, I started out 32, 33 inches. So this will be the shorter one, and this will be the last, and then we will cut some more. We'll just wrap this around securely. Push that. You want them to be close. You don't want, or I do. That's my preference. If your stones are bigger, then they're going to be further apart. So we got that, and we're going to go ahead and cut some more. Let me get my end. I stuck my end in here, along with a couple of rings I wanted to show. And these rings don't have to be, whoops, I like to try to keep it as straight as possible, but don't always work that way. I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to go on out to 36 on here. So I'll do 36. We will use these clip. Now, what I like to do, if I'm able to, I will go and backtrack by one to just kind of secure it a little bit more. And just pull. If you need to, take your pliers there and kind of pull down, up, and then pull it into here. Just going to pull up. There. And then you just want to make sure there's nothing sticking out, as always. Some people they fix these up as charms. This is actually small enough, I guess you could do a charm with it. So people wear them as charms, and whenever you're wearing them as charms, you sure don't want no wires poking. Since the wire's longer, it's taking a little bit more. Okay, we're going to pull that in there. I'm going to secure the bead in by doing a wrap, and then we're going to start all over. Get this until we finish the sun. It's a lot easier to work with shorter wire. So if I were to have started out with like 60 inches, I mean, I would have, it's just, it gets tangled up or it's harder to work with. So it's a lot easier to start to do a little bit at a time and then just secure it whenever you need to add more. So I'm going to go in and there's that. And then this right here, you can use any size. So I've made a bigger one, same way, just bigger. So you would just use the same technique. It would just make it longer. The little loops, like I said, you can close the little loops up. That's your choice. You can also secure this. Excuse me. You can also secure this by hammering with the jewelry hammer and kind of hammering it down just a little bit. You just don't want to overdo it. By twisting, that actually makes it secure as well. But I like this type of sun, so I've seen a lot of beautiful ones, especially with the jewelry. I've watched them with the jewelry and stuff. I've not seen anyone use this technique exactly like this. This is kind of like what I come up with if I can't figure out how to do one. I will sit and work on different ways or whatever and just figure it out what works for me. So this is kind of like got a little bit of maybe some technique, and then I've added my twist to it because that's just what I liked. And you may have a different way. You may figure out your own way that works for you for the sun. And of course, the middle part you can add if you want to add whatever to that. You can fill it up with the beads by going back and forth. You'll want to use a smaller gauge wire if you do so, and go in and fill it up with beads. That's why I put the yellow on the outside, and then I may put a little on the inside, like a little ornament or something like that. But I don't, see, I made that one a little bit, so I'll do this one a little bit smaller. But I don't fill mine up with the beads. I put an ornament in the middle of it and let it dangle. I've twisted so many wires that my fingers are a little sore right now. And my nails are really sore. So I'm gonna have to straighten this one out. You'll take this nylon, kind of straighten that out. That's what the nylon is for. It works very well. Makes a big difference whenever you're putting those beads on with this. This will probably be split up into two videos, because they will not put the videos on unless they're a certain time. So I will have the full video I'll have in my YouTube. If you don't want to watch it split up. The supplies I'll have in the description. Which, there's not many supplies to make in this one. You just want your, or unless you want a different color or do something different, but again, you're going to squeeze. You're just going to kind of tighten them up all the way around. See, I'm going to have to use more wire for this because it is going to require me. This is the last one. I'm going to secure this. So far, okay. And I will grab some more wire. I shouldn't need too much more, but still. It takes quite a bit whenever you're doing the twisting. I am going to get 24. To put that into the loop there. Twist that around. That gives me a little bit of the security on the wire. I'll close that up in there. And then I'm going to go around, put my stone in. takes a little time still. I'd be able to get. Don't necessarily mean that this won't go in. I'll just, right now, I don't have time to fool with that with the video. So if it's going to take too long, I just try to grab another one that I know or that I hope will go in just a little bit easier. I'm going to make a short one here. Twist. Pull through and bead. So imagine how much these bigger ones take as far as whenever you're going through, because this right here, I mean, it takes quite a bit of wire just for the small. Let's see, there's 33, maybe 69. I think that's about 114 inches of wire. If I added that correctly. I'm gonna fight this one. Sometimes they just, like I said, it really, I think it's the beads might have a burr in the middle of it to where it just does not go on like it should. I thought I'd fight that. I ain't gonna. I'm gonna straighten this back out with the nylon. We'll see how. Let's see, so much easier. Secure that. The little loops, like I said, those can be closed up. I kind of like them. It depends on what I'm making. So if I'm making something to where I might need one of the loops to hang it from, I like it like that. If I don't need the loops, then I'll close them up. So that's all preference. Okay, we're about down to the end here. And okay, so that's the sun. And then what I do on the rays, just, the suns don't have the perfect rays, you know, they're all over the place. So you want them to be all crooked. And you may be able to use your fingers on this type of wire. You can kind of use it however you want to. It'll actually bend with you like that instead of, now you get different wire, you're going to have a little bit more harder time twisting it. And what makes it perfect is it doesn't have to be perfect, because the sun rays are not perfect. They're not all uniform, same size and everything. It just, okay. This is it. This is it. I mean, I'll have to straighten up this a little bit more, but you get the idea. And my little sun. And like I said, if depends on if I'm hanging it from something, I'll keep the loops. But there it is. Show me yours. You can like, share, and comment. Show me the pictures that you do. I love to see them. Okay. You have a wonderful day.